because like I had this conversation with my dad the other day because he's from Alabama and he actually ended up moving up north to Wisconsin, where I'm from, to get away from the KKK because he was very just sick of overt racism. And he was joking with me. He was like, yeah, I mean, I left and, you know, I wasn't like being chased after and I wasn't like necessarily afraid of being lynched or anything anymore, but it's still, it's other kinds of racism that he had to deal with of then like, yeah, you're not going to get this promotion, or like I'm subtly going to just, you know, not appreciate who you really are and not you know, and to participate in all these microaggressions, or, you know, not actually see you for the person that you are. And he was like, it wasn't really that much better. Like it was just a different kind of racism.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people are opening up their eyes to, because we've traditionally taught people, you know, as a country, I feel like, of, well, that's a really bad thing. But there's been so many other subtle microaggressions and behaviors that I feel like we've just ignored, and that those things are also now being opened.
I totally agree. I think it's like the subconscious, things that we were taught through media, of stereotypes and yeah, I think it's just been kind of ingrained in a lot of us. And yeah, so what you said, 100% spot on. But so
Yeah,
people who don't know, you are the editor in chief of Teen Vogue.
that's correct.
Amazing. Thank you again for coming on here and talking.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. I think Teen Vogue is a very, and I hate this term, woke, but it is true. It's like, I was thinking about that this morning. I was like, it sounds really dumb of me to say, like, we are kind of a generation of woke human beings, but I think we are.
Yeah. I say culturally relevant. I
There you
mean,
go.
I culturally sound, but yeah, I mean, we try to do the good work. I want all young people to always feel really seen and heard in everything that we're doing. And I think young people, um, I mean, like I'm still young too, but I think it's like we're the people that are going to start this movement and make all these changes. Like it has to be us. And I'm really grateful for us to have the platform. So.
Yeah. How do you think this is gonna, how do you think this movement right now is gonna impact your work in the media, kind of? Because, you know, so much of what we learn, I feel, and are taught about the people around us and stereotypes, whatever, is through media, is through
Mhm.
commercials, what we see, the TVs, the movies. Like, how do you think your line of work is going to be impacted by what's going on right now?
Yeah, I mean, I got into fashion because, you know, I was like watching The Hills and I was like, I just think this is so cool and I want to do this. And there were zero, you know, Black people on that show. And I think that a lot of my work has always been fusing these fashion conversations into culture and inclusivity. I think that what's really been important to me has been, you know, you can really love fashion, you can really love clothes, you can really love going to shows, but also care about the world and care about helping other people and humanity. And so I think for me, it's only heightened my passion to really change things and continue to really be a ladder for other people and help other people in the industry come up that haven't had the opportunities or the chances, or they don't come from, you know, if you don't come from money, you don't come from a certain family in fashion, it is really hard to get your foot in the door. Fashion is expensive. It's expensive to look the part. The jobs don't pay that well. And so I was always hustling, working 3 jobs, waitressing, doing what I had to do to just be in the door at least. And I want to continue to make that easier for other Black people, Indigenous people, people of color to be able to have these kinds of opportunities, because it, like you said, it directly affects what people start thinking and believing.
Yeah,
And if you have more diverse minded people in media, what we're digesting is better.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I talked to Asha, who's a Black actress, and she, it's just kind of, I'm stopping to think about how this industry has really played such a part in all of this,
Mhm.
and how we just have to do better going forward, when it comes to just portraying what the world actually looks like, rather than the 90s sitcom version of what the world looks like, which is what
Right.
people gravitate to. I think it's a matter of expanding that, and hopefully, I think hopefully a lot of good art and stories are going to come from this.
I think so too, actually. I think a lot of people are taking the time to analyze the content that they want to be in, and content they want to put out, whether it's in Hollywood or media, and saying, if I'm going to be in this campaign, like I need to make sure that, this is, speaking to all different kinds of people, or I want to make sure the production set is diverse, or I want to make sure that whoever's in the cast of this show or this lineup is inclusive, and using your power to do that. And I think, especially in media as well, like it's like, I want to make sure that we're representing all different kinds of voices, and we're not just, talking, circling the train of the same thing. Like we all have to do better. And I think that's the best thing about this movement, and this all are, I think, realizing like we all have a part in this. We all have
Yeah,
to do better.
it's all like an individual process. It's not
Mhm.
just like, oh, these people need to do better. It's like, no,
Right.
you need to do better
Yeah.
as a human being, which is really powerful. And I think a lot of people are taking ownership of it, which is encouraging, and which is why it's so encouraging to see so many people at these protests.
Hmm.
Which, by the way, people need to still be wearing masks, which I will
Yes.
say to anyone watching, please keep wearing masks.
Yes.
It's amazing to go out and protest and do that, but obviously we need to make sure that COVID stays under control because things in LA are really bad right now. I don't know how things are in New York.
They're saying we're going to open on Monday, and I don't believe them. Like, I don't believe this.
It's just scary. It's scary. I think it's people aren't taking it seriously anymore. And it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, this is, we still need to make
Yeah.
sure
You
people
still
are,
need to wear a mask. I saw a ton of people out this weekend hanging out at bars and with their friends with no masks on. And I'm
yeah,
just like shaking my head here at home
yeah, yeah.
because
Perfect
I'm
example
not going to be
for
part of this
me
nonsense.
who hates going out to bars and anything like that. I'm like, no, I'm staying in. Like,
Oh,
this is
yeah, me too. I'm
perfect.
not a bar person. No, I'm good. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
though.
I'll be right here if you need me. Um, but you and I were talking a little bit about how this has affected mental health right now. Um, and I'm someone who loves to talk about mental health. I think it's so important, and I think maybe for the Black community in particular, this is a very it's very hopeful for all of us, but it also can be very traumatic.
Hmm.
So, I mean, what can you speak to that a little bit? What your thoughts are about kind of the mental health?
Yeah, I mean, I think it really is truly an emotional roller coaster for a lot of people, because definitely on one hand you want to be informed and you want to understand what's happening, and you want to see, what is happening on the news, if there's development in these cases and all of that. But it also is traumatic to, watch a lot of these videos of people being killed and of these situations that are just insane. It's not, um, I have not slept well in over, I would say, 2 months now. It's not, you can't really grasp it in your mind. And I think that a lot of people have traditionally thought that, oh, that just happens to someone else on TV, or that just happened because that was in the South. But now I think it really has hit home for a lot of people that this is just not, it's not changing. And this is kind of the reality that we're in right now. Sorry, motorcycles. Um, and it's been hard. I mean, I definitely saw a lot of people posting about, try to be productive, try to do all these things, like try to keep busy, and there's just no right or wrong way to go about this. I remember, when I was first reading about Ahmaud Arbery, I just had to lay down. I literally was just laying down the full day because I couldn't get up. I was just so like, I cannot believe in 2020 people are literally hunting down a man in the middle of the street and killing him, and it's on tape, and it's like we're still waiting for an arrest. I think that a lot of it is, um, every single day, just trying to get up and trying to inform yourself, trying to, get involved as much as you can, but also rallying other people and saying, look, like this, like we can't continue on like this. um, and it's just, I think it is a lot to then also have to work and have to be around people and smile. And I mean, someone like myself, like I'm still managing people, I'm still running